Well, it turns out I am not a curse after all, because the Sens do win by a score of 3-2 tonight against the Islanders, and this was an impressive game. It was an entertaining game too. It was close. We had a couple of fights, including one at the start of the game, right when the puck drops, between the captain, who I'm going to be talking about a lot in this video, I feel like. Um, this was just a very impressive win, but just a mature win. Because I feel like the Sens, like the old Sens team, they would have found a way to crumble and fall apart and blow it. But they won this, and it was an entertaining game, and it was very close. So I did do a watch party for the game tonight, and I feel like I got a lot of pretty good reactions to some stuff that happened in the game tonight. You're gonna notice as the we get deeper into the season, every single game is very meaningful, right? Because the Sens are still chasing down a playoff spot, so I'm gonna be more animated when I do my watch parties, right? So just gonna go ahead and throw that out there. But yes, as I always do with the watch parties, I do not take notes because my entire reaction is in the live stream if you wish to check it out. So I do want to thank everyone who came out to said watch party tonight. I had a lot of fun, as I always do, regardless if they win or lose. So, getting into my little thing here, the notes, kind of notes, not really. Anyways, Game 68 of the season was played on Thursday, March 19th against the New York Islanders. It was a 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern start time. So this was the second meeting of the season between these two teams, and the Islanders won the last one. It was also a one-goal game, so I guess these games are they're always close when they play each other. So, starting goalies were James Reimer for the Sens and Ilya Sorokin for the Islanders. Mildly surprised. I didn't really think about this until the game tonight started, but I thought personally I would have started Allmark tonight and probably Reimer last night against Washington, but nah, it's whatever. I think Reimer played pretty well tonight, honestly. So the Sens were 34, 24, and 9 coming into tonight, and the Islanders were 39, 24, and 5 coming into tonight. So they got a solid record. Like, it's not like this is not a weak opponent. The Islanders are actually they're in danger. They might actually be outside of a playoff spot. I'll check the standings a little bit later on, but yeah, I'll say it again. This was a very impressive win. It was entertaining. It was close. And we had a couple of fights in the first 6 minutes of the game, which was insane. And yeah, this was a big win. And yeah, we'll see if the Sens can keep it going. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about tonight's game and run through the stats. So the Sens win by a score of 3-2 in regulation, which is huge. Very huge. So the Islanders drop to 39, 25, and 5. The Sens move up to 35, 24, and 9. And if you look at the stats, it was a close game. It was really, really close. So the shots were 26-19 in favor of the Sens. And once again, they keep that shots against total low. Face-off percentage, they were pretty close. 52.9%. The Sens do have the advantage there. 47.1% for the Islanders. And this stat here is impressive. The Islanders go 0 for 4 on the power play. The Sens were 4 for 4 on their penalty kill tonight. That's very impressive. Now they do go 0 for 2 on their power play, but it evens out, right? Because the 4 for 4 is very impressive. Penalty minutes 18-14 in favor of the Sens having the most. Again, we did have a couple of fights, so that's gonna make that number go up quite a bit. Hits 29-19. There was definitely an edge to this game, especially in the first period. Like, I thought we were gonna see more fights, to be honest, like at least one more, but we didn't. And again, those first two fights, the only two fights, they came in the first 6 minutes. Yeah, there was definitely an edge to this game, and that's what we should probably expect to see, right? These are two teams battling for a playoff spot, so I think that's how it should be. So, block shots 17-10 in favor of the Sens. It felt like the Islanders had more than that, but I guess not. Giveaways 15-14 in favor of the Sens. Takeaways were tied at 5-5. So these two teams do have one more meeting. That'll be on April 11th, and that'll be in New York. So as mentioned, for watch parties, I do not take notes during the game. So we'll just go ahead and run through the scoring summary here. So for the first period was insanely even. How even, you ask? Well, there was no scoring, we were scoreless, and the shots were 7-7. So it was interesting because, like, if you take out the two fights, really nothing too much happened in the first period, to be honest. So yeah, we go into the first intermission scoreless, and then in the second period, it was Matthew Schaefer scoring his 21st goal of the season at the 4:45 mark of the second period from Pollock and Horvat. And honorable mention here, just shout out to Schaefer. Like, this kid's unreal. I'm trying to remember what the stat was that they showed tonight. I might be mistaken here. I might mess up the wording a little bit, but I believe he was the youngest defenseman to score 50 points in a season or something like that. Something along those lines. This kid is unreal, and it's just ironic because, like, before the game started, I'm like, hey, watch out for Schaefer, and go figure, he scores the opening goal. But then the Sens would answer back. Shane Pinto scores short-handed. So again, not only do the Sens go 4 for 4 on their penalty kill, but they also score short-handed. So that goal comes at the 10:27 mark of the second period from Clevin and Matt Pinto's 18th of the season, and we're tied at 1. So the game just continues to be really, really even. So we end the second period tied 1-1. Shots in that second period were 11-8 in favor of the Islanders. And then we roll into the third period, and the third period was kind of interesting, and you'll see why in a minute. So, third period, Schenn scores. Braden Schenn, the newcomer to the Islanders, he scores at the 2:02 mark from Holmstrom and Mayfield. The Islanders go up 2-1. So Foegele would end up answering back at the 5:12 mark from Zetterlund and Gilbert. How about Gilbert getting an assist there? Fogel's 10th of the season, and this would tie the game at 2. And then I saw a post on Twitter from somebody, I forget who it was, but they basically said that Brady has to set the tone tonight, and he did immediately with the fight right at the drop of the puck at the start of the game. But then the captain, Brady Tkachuk, scoring the go-ahead goal with 11 seconds to go in the game, makes it 3-2 Sens from Spence and Batherson. It is his 19th of the season. Now, it says the goal was scored at 19:47 of the third, but whatever. The point is, he scores in the dying seconds to put the team up 3-2, and needless to say, you got quite the reaction out of me when that goal went in during the watch party. So, just the biggest goal of the season. I'm not exaggerating when I say this, but it is the biggest goal of the season for the Sens to this point. There's no question. And just the fact that they win this in regulation is huge because the Islanders are right by them in the standings. And we'll take a look at the standings soon here. But this third period was very interesting because the shots in that third period were 11-1 in favor of the Sens. That one shot that the Islanders had, it went in. So Reimer did not make a single save in the third period. It's crazy, right? Crazy. It felt like it was going to be that kind of game that the Sens weren't going to win, but they did, and it was impressive. So looking at the 3 stars of the game, obviously, first star of the game was Tkachuk with the game-winning goal in the dying seconds. Second star of the game was Foegele, who also had a goal. He was the one that tied it at 2. And third star of the game was Chabot. I thought Chabot played really well tonight. He had a chance where he had a wide open net, and then Soucy stopped it with his skate. That was insane. That could have easily went in. But yeah, this was just a really impressive win, and I think a very mature win by the Sens. So we'll take a look at the box score here. For the forwards, we got Tkachuk and Pinto and Foegele as our goal scorers. Wow, I can speak. So Batherson and Zetterlund getting 1 assist each. Kachuk, Pinto, and Dylan Cousins were all +1. Ice time leader was actually Amadio with 2013. That's a bit of a change up there. Shot leader was Kachuk and Dylan Cousins. They had 6 each. And Nick Cousins led the way in blocks with 2. And then we have Kachuk, Nick Cousins, Dylan Cousins, and Amadio all with 3 hits, which led the way there. And taking a look at the defensive stats, we got Gilbert, Spence, Matt and Clevin all with 1 assist. Gilbert, Matt Shabbat were all +1, and Clevin was the only defenseman who was a minus. He was -1. And ice time leader, Shabbat played 30-53. Dude. Man, oh man, that's crazy. I knew he played a lot tonight. 30-53. That is insane. Over half of the game. My fear is that they're going to wear him out because, of course, Sanderson's still out, right? And Jensen's also out. So, oh my goodness, that's crazy, dude. But he handled it well. I thought he played really well tonight. You can see that, third star of the game, absolutely deserved, 100%. Shot leader for defenseman was Clevin. He had 2. And Zub led the way in blocks with 4. And Clevin had the most hits with 3. And that is pretty much it for that. So taking a look at Reimer's save percentage, it ends up being kind of a rough save percentage. He stopped 17 out of 19 for an .895 save percentage, but I thought he played well. He made some big saves. I mean, he didn't have to do anything in the third period. Like, he faced 1 shot. It did go in, but I thought he played well. I'm not going to look into that too much. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just an impressive win, huge win, but I am slightly annoyed. You know why? Because we're going to look at the standings right now. So, as it stands right now, so you've got Columbus, Boston, and Detroit. The 3 of the teams that the Sens are chasing, and guess what? All 3 of them won tonight. Because of course they did. Which means the Sens make up no ground. It's just, this is what I mean, right? The Sens cannot afford to lose any games because everyone ahead of them just continues to win every single night. So, yeah, and actually, I'm looking at it right now. Columbus is now in a playoff spot. The Islanders are outside looking in. So, yeah, this is going to come right down to the wire. Sens are playing well. They're 7-2-1 in their last 10, and they got to keep this going because there's really no room for mistakes at this point. When you look at the standings, it is insane how close it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the next game for the Sens will be on Saturday, March 21st against the Toronto Maple Leafs. It is always fun when they play each other. 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Star Time. I will not be doing a watch party for this one. I tend to watch the games with my dad on the weekend, so yes, no watch party there. Next watch party is probably going to be on Monday against the Rangers, so do look out for that one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, solid win, big win, and I'll say it again, just a very mature win. They played well. I didn't love their second period tonight, but they dominated in the third period, and they got the job done in regulation, which is huge. And yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. So the Sens win by a score of 3-2 against the Islanders, and they will be looking to continue their hot streak against the Leafs on Saturday. But I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. One last thank you to everyone who came out to the watch party tonight. And that is it for me, guys. Thank you so much again, and go Sens, go.